Now, as many of you know, my trip to Italy would not have been possible without my daily dose of Dramamine. It got me through being in Venice, it got me through the plane ride, and it got me through the bus ride, and it even put me in a great mood. Now, being in Venice was one of the funnest things I've done in a long time. It's so beautiful. It's such an interesting city. It's a city unlike anything that I had seen before. I'd, of course, heard about Venice, but I'd never been there. And to be in a city where everything goes by boat was just so interesting. The UPS truck, the FedEx truck, the produce, the trash truck, everything is a boat. And it seems that everyone has a boat. Everyone's driving around on a boat. And so I wanted to take some video of being in a boat, driving or riding through the canals and the alleys and just taking in the sights. Now, one of the things that was also really interesting about my trip to Italy, I was fortunate enough to meet up with Roberto, and he's one of our students in the inner circle. Now, Roberto grew up in Italy, but he moved to the United States to get a job in Detroit working at a factory building dashboards for cars. Now, that for him was a good job, and he really couldn't find a lot of good work in Italy, which is why he moved to Detroit for work. The reality is, in Italy, for people under the age of 25, the unemployment rate is nearly 40%. And above the age of 25, it's still very, very high. The average household income in Italy is $25,000 a year in US dollars. So for Roberto to get education and then move to Detroit and work building dashboards, it was actually a very good job compared to the type of work he could get in Italy. The unfortunate thing for him was that he didn't want to live in Detroit. He wanted to move back home. And that's when he started thinking about what type of career he could bring home. What could he do back at home? He thought, well, maybe I could start building websites because I'm good on the computer, but not a lot of people in small businesses have websites, so that wouldn't be very good. And then he stumbled upon day trading. If it weren't for day trading, he wouldn't be able to live the life he's living. He wouldn't be able to be back in Italy making nearly 4 times the average household income in just 2 hours a day of trading. Now, the days that I was in Venice, I traded from my hotel room, and I was able to make $500 to $1,000 a day, which means on those days I was making 5 to 10 times what the average Italian would make in an entire day of work, and I was doing that in just 2 hours. That's the potential of the market. Now, a lot of people like to talk about the lifestyle stuff, the fact that you can travel around the world or you can drive a fancy car, and those things are all nice. But what do those things really represent? They represent independence. They represent freedom, the financial freedom to be able to do those things, whatever you want. So, saying, well, trading allows me to travel. I mean, sure, it does, but what it really allows is for me to have the freedom to work from anywhere that I want. And most of the time, that's working from home, which is where I'm content. And that's probably true for a lot of our students. But at the same time, this was an opportunity for me to do a little bit of traveling, to visit Italy, to explore a different city and a different countryside. And my job came with me. I traded the whole time I was there. I didn't take a single day off, and had some great trading. I ended up coming back to New York City and doing a little bit more trading from the city before making my way back home. But that's the cool thing about this job. All you need is a laptop. If you have a laptop and you have a strategy, those are the 2 things you need. Laptop, a strategy, and internet. Those are the 3 things you need. If you have those 3 things, you can make money from anywhere in the world. That's freedom. So if you want to use that freedom to, buy a fancy car, or to sell all your things and travel around the world, or simply to live a more comfortable lifestyle working from home, not have to go into your 9 to 5, it's your call. But the fact is, we are very, very fortunate to be able to make as much as we can from the comfort of our own home trading the markets. I mean, it really is an incredible thing. And so this trip made me very grateful for this career. And I know that there are days, especially in April, where I was talking about, being up $1,200 or $1,800, and that was not a very good day. because I had gotten used to making $5,000 or $10,000 on a good day. But that is, a very narrow sense of success, that you have to make $5,000 to $10,000 to have a good day, and that certainly is not true for the majority of people in the world. So any day that you can come into the market and you can take a couple of trades, you can have good accuracy, maintain a good profit-loss ratio, and walk away with profit, you're doing something right. And it doesn't have to be $1,000 a day. It doesn't have to be $10,000 a day. It can be $100 or $200 a day. And if you're doing that in 2 hours, you are making more than most people would make in an entire day. Not just in Italy, but really all around the world. And even in the United States, the average daily income would be $200 a day, $52,000 a year. So last year I finished with $222,000. I'm already up $150,000 this year, and I couldn't be more grateful for this career as a trader. And I love empowering new traders with the skills to trade the market side by side with me. And that's what I've been able to do with Roberto, with John, with Mike, with Kevin, with Jeff, with Eduardo, and so many other students. So I wanted to show you some clips from my trip to Italy, and I hope you guys enjoyed them, and share with you some of the things that I was thinking about as I was exploring this really beautiful country. Alright, so I'll leave it with that, and I will see you all back in the chat room.